Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to a capsule selection. Today we are going to talk about the rose and patchouli combination. This is a formula series. This is a part of the formula capsule that I've been producing. And today I really want to get out to you guys, with this season approaching us, one of the most prolific romance and sexy style of fragrances on the actual any area of perfumery when it comes to what it is that I've known and seen to attract the opposite sex when it comes to a scent trail. If you want something with great sillage, if you want something that is beautiful and overtaking of all nostrils around you, I implore you to watch this video. This is about rose and patchouli. I cannot emphasize anymore how devastatingly beautiful and alluring this actual formula and DNA can be. So if this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuance of scent, cigars, and wine. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. As I stated, we are going to dive into an assortment of fragrances that really hearken to a beautiful, romantic, and sexy style of fragrance in its DNA content. I'm going to try to highlight different components of this particular series for you guys. I have 10 fragrances that all come off differently, but with the same surrounding and encompassing factor of the DNA involving rose and patchouli. Every one of these in my collection are here for a reason. They all give off a great scent trail, a beautiful sillage and projection, and really do hearken to the fact of being a sexy and romantic style of fragrance. And like I stated, if you really are into the actual attribute of getting any type of compliment in the fall and winter wear, the scent trail that comes behind patchouli is one of the very best on the market. It's opulent smelling, very romantic. It's slightly in the sensual and alluring, yet overtly dirty and sexual style as well. And so we're going to start off first with one of the ones that is the best on masculine skin. It's a unisex fragrance, but more and more you will find that this particular scent is picked up, worn by men, and really come off well in that particular DNA style. So I'm going to touch off on this one first, and this is CARLISLE by the House of Parfums de Marly. CARLISLE is a scent that is so beautifully done and sexy by its content of opoponax, nutmeg, spice, and osmanthus. The actual reason this one comes off so well to me is that sexy smell of osmanthus, which comes off like a fruity apricot. Has some benzoin, tonka, and vanilla inside of this particular scent, and it's so sexy in the way that it comes off. The accents of the leathery style of osmanthus, it's really a nice, intriguing, and intricate play on how patchouli and rose can come off on the skin. The patchouli and rose are the actual just pillar of this one, but that structure of adding the sweetness of benzoin, opoponax, and resinous vanilla style of resin vanilla, and nutmeg spice with that osmanthus, very exotic smelling fragrance, very distinct, has some few of a leathery facets to it, some citrus tones. It adds an entirely different facet to the fragrance while adding the sweetness of that osmanthus. So if you're into the greener phases of scents and you want something sweet, seductive, and sexy with a patchouli and rose essence lingering behind you, if you're masculine and you want something that is, like I stated in the opening, the prologue, if you want something devastating to the noses around you, choose CARLISLE. Very beautiful, even has some tobacco nuances to it. Gorgeous wearing scent. Green apple is in this one as well. You won't go wrong when wearing CARLISLE by Parfums de Marly. Vibrant, sexy, sweet, resinous, rose and patchouli. The first in this list on the formula series, rose and patchouli. Get your nose on CARLISLE, guys. Next up, what we have on this list for you guys is a devastating fragrance from Chanel. I'm using the word devastating for a reason, because what I want to get across to you guys is the way that this impacts others around you. It's a very sensual way that rose and patchouli can come off the skin. Now, you'll know me as one who very much so loves spices. I love spices. I love ouds. I love the rose oud combinations. I love many facets of fragrances. For me, the ones that grow on me and have stuck with me throughout my journey in fragrance and perfume purchasing, wearing, and just going around trying to figure out what the best of perfumery can find and be. The perfumers that do these fragrances with the rose and patchouli content in them really do a wonderful job of layering these fragrances, giving certain facets and nuances that come off stunningly. The way that Coromandel comes off on the skin with its opoponax, benzoin, oleibandum, patchouli rose mixture with a little bit of jasmine. The hedoin jasmine accord in this one, I'm not sure if it's a real natural jasmine or hedoin. It seems more like it's a jasmine, so I won't say hedoin. But the way that this come off, it's a spicy benzoin, vanilla scented rose and patchouli scent that is just gorgeous on the skin. It comes off with a white chocolate accord. The high quality in this one you cannot go wrong with when you're getting a Chanel fragrance. The composition is just buttery smooth. The benzoin is ambery, gourmandish style with that white chocolate layering next to it. The rose comes up in the mid along with that heavy dose of patchouli that lays on the skin, becoming one of the most romantic fragrances on the market today. This is Coromandel by the House of Chanel. Another one in the formula range, rose patchouli with the essence of benzoin and sweet warm white chocolate and jasmine that you cannot go wrong with. Once again, number 2 on this list is Coromandel by the House of Chanel. Next up, what we got here for you guys, a beautiful XERJOFF fragrance, Deified Tony Iommi. What can I say? This one is climbing the ladder of success when it comes to fragrances in my collection. I've not even had it for a month and a half yet. And this one here is one that just keeps on calling for me to wear. I'm enjoying this as a work scent, as a date scent, as an evening scent, as just an even relaxing scent. For some reason, the leather componentry with this rose and patchouli complementing fragrance, it has this very polished and posh style of leather accord in it with green apple, cinnamon, saffron, all of the components that you want in a devastatingly sexy fragrance. It has inside of it. And the thing about this, like I stated, the leather is so distinguished, it's so luxurious smelling. It's warm, it's smoky. It has a nice characteristics that brings about an elegant yet animalic side to it. So it's symmetrical in the way that it comes off on the skin both ways, animalic and opulently luxuriously. It just evokes the greatest scent of leather that I've smelled in a while. And I love the way that it comes off of my skin. At the end of the day, no matter what note structure and accord I want to put on my skin, if it comes off and blooms off my skin the way exactly I want it to, in a collection of many, this has climbed to the top when it comes to a certain scent profile for fall. I'm loving what this particular scent does. This is XERJOFF Deified, and I love the way that the rose and patchouli combination flows across the signifier of this one being the leather accord. That identifier on this one is gorgeous. And I think as a hallmark to this particular scent, it cannot do any better than they've done with Deified. Get your nose on Deified as the rose patchouli combination with the leather and combination of apple in this one as well. This one is gorgeous as well for even evening wear, day wear, scented events that you want to be opulent and push forward your personality as being more dynamic. This is the one for you. Deified by XERJOFF. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have here for you, this is a bottle that I made off of a actual refill bottle for the House of Harmonist. This is Hypnotizing Fire inside this flacon. This is going to be purchased as a full bottle. I know that going that route to get this more economically when I found it was a good thing to do. I'm a collector of fragrances, so the flacons do mean something to me. At the end of the day, this particular scent is worth purchasing for a backup bottle for me. The signifier and hallmark to this one is the gorgeous rose oud patchouli with the opoponax that is just phenomenal. If you are a fan of opoponax fragrances like Interlude Man from the House of Amouage, you know how that one is. This is an intriguing scent that has some of the main components of what Interlude Man can do with that spicy, resinous, Eastern Oriental style. But this one has a rose oud combination with some vetiver and patchouli, or rose patchouli and vanilla in it, and just spraying it on the blotter. Gorgeous, undeniably complex, balsamic softness. It just permeates all around you. It's very velvety, smooth. This is a divine fragrance with a lot of weighty warmth on it. It just comes off so sexual. It's balsamic, it's warm, it's ambery, it's resinous. Like I said, velvety, soft, and silky smooth with that nice pimento on top of it that just gives this nice spice accord to it across the whole entire fragrance with that beautiful Bulgarian rose in this one and the patchouli. You cannot go wrong in this. I'm telling you, this DNA is everything when it comes to projection and silage off the skin. But this one is even one of the more comforting fragrances that gives off a certain allure of sex appeal with the combination of all the accords they put inside of this one. And this one here is coming up. The actual perfumer, I want to do a perfumer series on these people, because this one here is Guillaume Figini, and he's one who's made countless fragrances that I'm falling in love with over my collection, learning who he is. And one of those is one that I wax poetic about, which is Oud Blue Intense by the House of Fragrance Du Bois. Learning about his structure, I'm falling in love with what this guy can do with his perfume structures, the way they evolve on the skin, the way the sillage come behind him, the way he has a nice weightedness, but it also has a nice airy feel, ethereal feel around all of his essences that he put together. And his note structure that makes his accords come off phenomenal. This one is ambery, sweet rose patchouli with a nice vetiver and a Popinax feel to it. Can't go wrong with Hypnotizing Fire by the House of the Harmonist. Get your nose on that one as well. Sexy as hell. Next up on the list, gentlemen, we're gonna break some boundaries. We're gonna start wearing these cheaper fragrances that come off phenomenal. Fall time, the weather is cooler, the weather is, it's a cozy style that we want to be in our fragrances. And if you are a collector, if you're an aficionado, or someone who's just coming into this game and want to learn more, this is the perfect series for you guys, I must admit, because I'm going through this actual way of presenting these combinations of fragrances that have similar core structures but have different scent profiles. When it comes to the scent of Mason Francis Kurkdjian Lumiere Noir, great, just a phenomenal, comforting take on the way rose and patchouli comes off on his scent. And what he did with his, he put his with a nice phenolic greenness of Artemisia, with a beautiful accord of caraway / cumin in his, and a nicely done touch of spicy cinnamon. And the way that spicy cinnamon comes off on this one in the mid notes that carries across that greenness, man, this is the most elegant of all of these fragrances in my honest opinion. But it's also one that's so enduring of sensuality that you can't, it's Mason Francis Kurkdjian. The way he does his scents, nicely done chypre style of rose and patchouli essence on the skin. So it's very mellow, slightly fruity, peppery, pervasive across the way it wears. It comes off the skin with a potent, penetrative scent that just comes off very warm, peppery, spicy, sexy, sensual, and alluring. It lingers for the longest time in the air as well. That's one thing I love about this particular scent, the way he put his mindset to make this one carry that rose and patchouli across the entire facet of the structure of head, mid, and base. But then that Artemisia and cumin and cinnamon spice play so well together. The way they intermingle, they disappear, they waft, they come back in and reposition themselves into the composition. The notes are just soft, subtly sweet, but also that spicy accord, and then that beautiful way he put the rose and patchouli together. Head turner, just, it permeates, it penetrates, it gives everybody around you a reason to come closer. Lumiere Noir by the House of Mason Francis Kurkdjian. Just a gorgeous wearing rose and patchouli scent. Trust me when I say it, the sillage behind you is going to be just the hallmark of you for the entire evening. Lumiere Noir, Mason Francis Kurkdjian. Beautiful, man. Another one, another knockout. Next up, ladies, gentlemen, beautiful unisex fragrance, beautiful unisex perfumery. This is Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Masculine skin goes off much more beautiful, much more deep, much more depth to the fragrance. The nuances and facets come off with much more masculinity, the way it uses our DNA. Women smell gorgeous in this as well, but for this particular video, I'm going to tell you how it comes off of my skin. When I wear this particular scent, the saffron, the oud combination, along with that rose and patchouli, come off just entirely sexy, sensual. This is Tom Ford. Tom Ford sells sex, noir de noir, sexual, sensual. This has been the Valentine's fragrance in FradCom for the last 15 years. So this is one you know gets heads turning. It's so alluring, it's seductive. It's just a beautiful duality of femininity and sensuality of masculinity in a bottle. It's endlessly luxurious. It's evocative of smooth suede over a nice bed of rose and patchouli. It's slightly spicy, slightly leathery, a little bit suede and bitter, but at the same time, the way that this is evolving on your skin, it's going to have these peaks and valleys of warm, sweet coziness along with the vanilla accord, and this one comes off phenomenal. You will be the sexiest person in anyone's mind for the next 5 months after smelling this on your skin. It's one that just has so much depth, so much creativity, a nice little evocation of sensuality with that rose and patchouli, but with the oud on combination as well. So it's a little bit animalic with the oud, but the oud is not funky. It's that nice heartfelt depth of wood, that hard wood accord. This comes off so well. A little medicinal when it opens to that accord, but then it goes into the animalic, which is not pungent, but just enough of sexy dirty. Noir de Noir, rose oud, saffron. Rose oud, saffron, patchouli, vanilla. Just a gorgeous wearing chypre, just like the previous one. It has that chypre essence to it. A little bit of truffle in this one as well, so that dark truffle comes off a little bit more animalic than you would think it would. It's earthy, appealing, sensual, sexy. Just a gorgeous wearing fragrance for all of us to get our nose on and all of us to get attention from. Once again, Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, a sexy saffron laden rose patchouli from this just Tom Ford. Rock Tom Ford. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want to spray this on the bottle. I ain't even sprayed it. I gotta spray it before I get off this camera. This might be my scent of the day. Gorgeous, man. Scents like this, they make you smile. You got them in your collection. You know you want to pull them out when the season is right. You know you want to pull them out, go out and just have a fun vibe, have a chill vibe, but know you want to smell opulent. This one is, man. Sample this one first. This, out of all of them, has the most feminine of the roses, but the femininity of the rose dies down of about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you are a person who is not a evolution style person, you smell the opening and then say, I don't like it, you won't like this one. Especially if you're a man. If you're a woman, you're gonna love it. But a man, you're gonna be like, that's a little bit too feminine for me. Let the rose oud and the saffron combine itself to come over that patchouli. Give it 10 minutes and you're gonna be like, well, damn. Every faucet just mingles together. I could wax poetic about it, but at the end of the day, Tom Ford's Noir de Noir is one sexy patchouli rose fragrance with saffron, oud, and vanilla. Gorgeous. Get your nose on it. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, what we got here is a fragrance from the house of Frederic Malle. You knew this had to be here. You knew this wouldn't be a rose and patchouli combination fragrance formula if I had not had Portrait of a Lady inside this. This is a fragrance done by Dominique Ropion. And Dominique Ropion is one of the best perfumers in the game. He has a prolific catalog of fragrances that we all know and enjoy, from designer range to niche range to even artistic ranges. He's one of the best perfumers out there. And when he did Portrait of a Lady, I don't know if they had any knowledge that this would be something so attractive on masculine skin. I'm sure they didn't want to put this into a hemisphere that only women could wear this, because when men got their nose on this and start wearing this rose and incense combination along with that patchouli, they knew that they had a hit on their hands. So when I discovered it, I knew I had a hit on my hands. This is one of the best balsamically soft, sweet, rich, woody, warm scents in perfumery. The way that the rose and patchouli combine with the nice sour sweetness of the blackcurrant bud in the opening, and the way that just transitions and runs a scent trail across your whole evolution on the skin. The notes play so well together. The hallmark, like I said, is the incense / olebanum. So you are an incense lover, this is the one for you. This is the hallmark for this one. All of them have a different hallmark to it, and the incense is amazing in this one. The incense is one of the best accords that comes off with a lemony freshness like an elemi, but it's that high, whatever it is. I'm going to say it may be even hojari, because hojari is what I've come to learn. If I'm getting fact checked, I may, but what I've learned is that hojari incense or olebanum is the best the market can bring, and it smells phenomenal. Slightly fresh, lemony, sweet, deep, rich, warm, woody aroma. Has all the best facets that you want in an ambery scent, but it's one that's so beautiful with that way he did the rose and patchouli combination. Gorgeous. The gorgeous facets on this one are devastating. The way that the scent trail conjures a nice effect of opulence, the nice effect of sophistication while still being a bit dirty, ethereal in the way it comes across, but still sensual, sexual, and alluring. The scent trail on this one alone is one that's going to get you noticed. The way it comes across is very, very evocative of romance, and that's the reason that this is in my list of favorite fragrances of all time. Portrait of a Lady from the house of Frederic Malle is a beautiful perfume with balsamic lemon touches from the olibanum with that rose and patchouli combination that comes off phenomenal. Get your nose on POAL, Portrait of a Lady by the house of Frederic Malle, perfume by Dominique Ropian. It's a fresher, woody take on the genre of rose patchouli formulas. Get your nose on it. Next up in the formula, this capsule is a banger. If you guys have any knowledge of the house of XERJOFF, you know that they have the Stone collection, and you know that inside the Stone collection, the most popular fragrance there is RICHWOOD. RICHWOOD is the most popular fragrance for a reason, because it is a phenomenal rose patchouli combination with a lot of geranium and Mysore sandalwood with this geranium, and this is spicy. The patchouli is spicy. The sandalwood is soft, comforting, slightly spicy. It opens with just the magnum opus of all of XERJOFF's effort to make the best opening of citrus accord. So it has a nice orange, lemon, bergamot in the opening. Head turning. That's the best way to describe this particular scent from the house. It's not a scent that's for everyone, I will admit that, but if you are into the artistry, the beauty of perfumery, and knowing what a scent trail comes behind you, it's not for everyone in the aspect of wrapping your head around wearing it. When people do smell it on you, maybe you have to go around and try to figure out what it is that you want to wear in the genre. That's why I'm bringing you the formula. When it comes to RICHWOOD, the real beauty in this one is at about the 20-minute mark, where everything starts to come around that beautiful, spicy chocolate style of patchouli, sweet, warm, woody, slightly heady in the beginning because of the rose and the geranium in it with that bergamot. When it dries down to that sweet, warm Mysore sandalwood and milky, sweet facets coming off of that, this type of scent has inspired perfumers for decades, if not millennial. It's one of the best styles. It's decadently sweet too, with that creamy Mysore sandalwood across that nice milky touch of, well, sandalwood again, the milky touch of sandalwood, creamy, decadent, very obtuse in the way it comes and fills the room. It's very thick on the skin, very thick in the air, oriental, ambery, persistent, suave, velvety. Just a must-have in your arsenal. This type of signature scent is a must-have in your arsenal. The sandalwood just comes off great. It's rose patchouli, Mysore with the geranium and rosy touch, or the rosy touch of geranium that come off slightly spicy, but devastatingly sweet, warm, spicy, sensual, sexy, alluring, captivating to all audiences. This is RICHWOOD by the house of XERJOFF. Get your nose on this one. This one, I mean, every single one, man. Like I said, every single one. It's just the way that they come off the skin, the rose and patchouli. Once you get your hair wrapped around it and know what this can do, it's not for everybody, like I keep stating. But once you do derive and get your hair wrapped around one that you really want and wear it, you're going to understand why the combination is one that really needs to be pursued by yourself in your collection. Once again, RICHWOOD, house of XERJOFF. Ladies and gentlemen, next up on this list, we got one after the other, singularly taking noses out when you wear these particular fragrances. This is an original bottle of Sospiro's WARDASINA, then purchased by the house of XERJOFF, and I think it's still in the XERJOFF reign if the actual Sospiro has not purchased this formula back from them. I have not researched that, and I think that if you are interested, you will find either to be the same exact formula, because why change something this beautiful in your DNA if you have the opportunity to keep this formula? The way that the cedar wood, saffron, rose, patchouli, and tobacco come off in WARDASINA, this particular scent, the way this one comes off, you could just sit and be enthralled with the cedar wood combination, which is a soft American cedar wood, and it is a structuring and anchoring part to this particular scent that comes off beautifully. It's sweet, it's warm, it's cozy, it's inviting. It has a lot of musk inside this one, so that musk calls to a specific nose when it comes off your skin. There's going to be someone around you who really gets enthralled and captivated by the musk accord. It has vanilla. Like I said, tobacco comes up in this one. It feels slightly balsamic. It feels very mature, very sophisticated, and it's very sensual. The facets that come off so well on this one, as I stated, is the cedar saffron combination along with that tobacco essence blooming and veiling over the rose and patchouli. WARDASINA, man, this bottle is halfway done, if not 3/4 done. I'm shaking just the last of it. It's an olfactory journey that everyone should go on with a sample at least, because out of all the things that I've smelled in my journey in particular, I can't say that for every fragrance on the market, but in my journey, there are fragrances that have a certain DNA that you have to know that they do smell similar. I have yet to smell anything that smells like WARDASINA. The way that Christian Carbonell made this particular scent is just great. He came across a formula that he wanted to put out in the industry, and he nailed it. He knocked it out the park with this woody, cedar wood, rose patchouli essence of musk and vanilla with a nice heft of leathery saffron. Phenomenal scent that I think everyone who wants to know what the genre of rose and patchouli smells like should get their nose on. Aromatic, like tinges of fruit smells, you know, berry-like from the rose. You know how the rose can come off jammy berry-like. Just everything is just sexy about this particular red velvet bottle of WARDASINA from SOSPIRO. Get your nose on it. Ladies and gentlemen, last on this formula, this DNA, is Rose d'Arabie by the house of Armani Privé. Man, this is one that is heavily in musk, orange blossom, violet, saffron. Just a Pandora's box of beauty. The function of this one, as I've stated in several videos before, is just, it's a mesmerizing, beautiful fragrance that expands on the skin with dynamic woody tones, musk, white florals, you know, red florals. Gorgeous wearing fragrance that is a rose patchouli combination with an oud combination in there somewhere, and it's just beautifully blended. You can smell everything, every faucet, but nothing is competing to be the head honcho. Everything comes within this great blend that is so harmonious that you just fall in love with the scent. Even if it's not for you, you will know exactly what this scent is and does for people that do love the scent. It is one that it's on the unisex line, straight down the middle. Put it on the masculine skin. You carry yourself well with a 3-piece suit, 2-piece suit, cashmere sweater, cashmere jumper, slacks. You're gonna go off phenomenal. It's not the daily wear fragrance. It's not one for those who wear jogging suits all the time. You can wear it how you feel and choose to. But if you wear it that way, it probably won't feel right. You wear it in an upscale environment. And Rose d'Arabie for the masculine skin is one of the sexiest fragrances that you can put on. It has one of the best calling cards of floral essences, woody essences, and musk. The rose in this one, along with the wood components and the patchouli being one of those wood components, is gorgeous. It serves just a complement of just a complementing variety of ways that this comes off your skin. It's malleable. It comes off with the wood, the musk, then it comes off with the florals. So that's what I mean by the balance. You get everything, and it's gorgeous the way it wears. It's warm, it's musky, it's sweet. Like I said, a Pandora's box of just all these accords that just come off so well and meld into the skin, come off sensual, sexy, and alluring. So this is the romantic fragrance out of all of these. This is the most sensual of all of these. This is the one that you and your lady can wear together, complementing each other when you're going out somewhere to be amongst those that you need to have a congregation around. When you're doing any type of networking, you two are together or pulled apart in your conversations. You come back together and you smell like the most devastatingly beautiful couple in the room. Rose d'Arabie by the house of Armani Privé is a show-stopping stunner that I think all of you should get your nose on if you're into the feminine, masculine scale of fragrances that come straight down the line and you want a rose patchouli combination with a great amount of white, silky smooth cashmere musk. Beautiful, nicely done scent. Round of applause to Armani for this particular scent. Get your nose on it. You won't be disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my list for you guys today. I hope as always you got something educational and entertaining from this particular list. This is a capsule for my DNA series, the one that I like to call the formula. This was my effort to give you the best rose and patchouli combinations, at least in my collection, that I've taken the journey to smell and purchase. I hope that it hit you with some resonating value. And if it did, all that I ever ask that you do, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the like, not just the like button, hit the bell icon so that you'll know when I drop more content. You will be the first to be served with these type of videos. Until next time and until next video, peace.